This is Kevin with Naples Lawn Service. We're going to give you a few tips on planting fruit trees here in Southwest Florida. We don't offer that service, but I will give you some tips so you can do it yourself. Okay, so what you want to do is I would get the tallest tree you can afford. Okay, you can get them this tall for $49, but it's going to take you years and years for that thing to grow. So I learned that the hard way. I got an orange tree down there I've had about 4 years. It's finally up to where it should be. So this time we got taller ones. I would get the tallest tree that you can afford. If you can do $200 and get you a nice tall one, it's going to just advance the time before you're going to get a big tree with lots of fruit. Now the first thing you want to do is when you get that tree home, you can go get it at your local nursery or Lowe's or whatever. But you want to get, when you get it home, follow the directions. It's going to be on there. But basically they're going to tell you dig a hole about twice the size of the tree stump that you get in the bucket. About twice the size, you want to dig it out, okay? And then set it in there a little bit higher than your hole, okay? You don't want it lower, just a little bit higher, a couple inches. All right, the next thing you want to do is mix compost in with that sand. I'm going to show you a sample bag of compost. Okay, so here's a sample bag of compost. It's like $2 at Rural King, or you can get it at Lowe's, or you can get this delivered in bulk also. You just check around. But this is a one brand. You can get any brand you want of compost. All right, follow your directions, but a tree this big, I'd probably put a whole bag of compost down in there. All right, and then start covering up the sand. Make sure this is a little bit higher than your grade, okay? And then after that, you want to put some mulch around it, okay? If you want to create, like I call it, a little swimming pool, you want to have that mulch nice and high, so when the water goes in there, it holds the water and it doesn't run off. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Okay, now this mulch, it's only like a couple dollars, $2-3 a bag, wherever. I got red mulch, but it's the cheapest. But you want to make the mulch nice and high. I'd say 6 inches high all the way around. You're probably going to have to come out every 6 weeks and add more mulch, because that's going to decompose and wash away, but that'll really hold the water in. Okay, now all these trees I'm showing you, I just got them like, let's see, 5 months ago. So some of them have really taken off just in 5 months. And I left the tags on them so you can learn tips or whatever. This is a grapefruit tree. The last one I show you was tangerine, and I got another one down there too. But all the same. Now it's very important, you got to constantly water these things. I see people all the time, they just dig a hole, plop it in the ground, and they never fertilize it, they never water it, whatever. I mean, you have to water these things regularly, or it's just not going to produce for you, and it's going to be a waste of your time. So you've got to get out there and water it, unless you want to hook up a sprinkler system. All right, so when I water these things, I water them until that water starts pooling up in that little swimming pool I made right there. And that water starts getting a couple inches high, then I'm done, and then I go on to the next one. It's very important that you water these things. We have a dry season in Southwest Florida that goes on from mid-October, November, all the way through April, May of the next year. So those months, you gotta water these things. And I usually set up some hoses with sprinklers. I just come on out and turn them on. But you gotta water them. Okay, now here's an orange tree that I got from Walmart about 4 or 5 years ago. It was about this tall at the time. So it's taken all these years just to get up to here, and it hasn't produced fruit yet because I didn't fertilize this, I didn't water this, I just put it in the ground. And so in the last 3 months I decided, okay, I'm going to take good care of this one now too, because we want them. Now it's grown another 2 foot just in like 3 months. So you can't just come home and stick them in the ground. You got to dig the hole big, you got to put the compost in there, you got to put the mulch around, you got to water them, and you got to fertilize. Okay, so for fertilizer on the citrus trees, this is what we're putting on there, this fertilizer or any other brand that's similar. Okay, and then on the non-citrus trees, we're using what's called 10-10-10. But you want to fertilize quarterly. Okay, so every 3 months or so, fertilize your trees. Okay, so that's your tips today on planting some orange trees in Southwest Florida, or any other type of tree that you want to plant, citrus trees, etc. So if you need any more tips, we're always putting out videos, and if you like it, like it. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. And I'm Kevin with Naples Lawn Service, and hopefully that'll help you planting your fruit trees.